Welcome back to Cards and Comics, guys. I have another 90s box break. We got 1997 Upper Deck Series 1. So what's cool about this product, right? So in the baseball card lore, Series 1 Upper Deck 97 is the first appearance of game-used cards in baseball, for the most part. Like, maybe there was some, like, say, non-licensed stuff, or I'm not sure. I think football was earlier than baseball, but baseball, this is the first pack-pulled game jersey card ever made. Now, there's some interesting things about this. One is it's Series 1, and they didn't issue a Series 2. And I've always wondered about that. Like, why didn't they issue Series 2? Because Series 1 had just 3 players. It's Tony Gwynn, Ken Griffey Jr., I believe Ray Adornez or something like that. So it's like 3 players. And, Series 2 could have Frank Thomas, Barry Bonds. I mean, there's a Cal Ripken. Could have had a ton of great players. And they didn't. And so I'm always curious as why they didn't do a Series 2. My general thought is probably because it was really expensive, and maybe, it was hard to get licensed jerseys back in the day. I don't know, but they didn't do it, and so we only had a Series 1. Now, of course, after 97, we saw lots of game jersey cards, but this is special. And now the other thing that's special about this is we've got the fact that they had retail and hobby both had chances, and from what I can tell, similar odds to pull the game jersey cards. So this is retail, and you can tell by retail because it has a different amount of packs per box. This is, let's see if we can find it. I just hate the way they package cards back in the day. So this is 20 packs per box, which is just again, this is retail. This has a bonus 5x7 power packaging blow up card. I don't know what that means. I've never seen those. We'll get into it. Hopefully we can pull something cool. This is getting to be an expensive product as the Ken Griffey Jr. Jersey card has turned into gold. It's become a very expensive card. Raw, graded, in between. So we'll go right into it and see what we can get. And here's the packs. It's kind of fun to see. Now this didn't have a die cut. That's interesting because it's retail. It didn't have a die cut, so you can't fold it back. Which is, again, it is what it is. And I'm looking for the 5x7. I see it in the bottom. So at least that's in there. And it looks like it's Joe Carter, if I was going to guess. Based on... Yep, there it is, Joe Carter. So pull him out of there. And they're actually not that bad a looking card. There you go. Power Brokers. Or Power Package, sorry. And of course, by being unprotected in the bottom of the box, it's a little dinged up. A little corner damage there, but not a bad looking card, honestly, for for the time period and being a kind of a throw-in. All right, so here we go. Can we pull something cool? Do I think we'll pull it? No, but hey, it's worth a shot. And I think that's one of the things that makes this product really a lot of fun, is that, you got a shot at something really, really good. And the set itself isn't bad design-wise. It's got a lot of etched foil. It's got different color foil. You get silver, then bronze. And I've always liked the design of this product from just a base card perspective. There are inserts. We'll go into them when we hit them, but they're and then you got to worry. Like, the thing with the inserts in this product is a lot of subsets look like inserts, like defensive gems. That's just a subset. So you got star rookies. Again, here's Brian Giles, which Again, that's not a insert. Here's an actual insert. Here is Rock Solid Foundations, and that is an actual insert. And that is Derek Jeter. So there you go. We actually pulled a really cool insert. So like that, that's actually a cool card. All-Star Game Chipper Jones. Scott Survey. So it's like, it's a cool product. And I do think it's a cool evolution for Upper Deck, and it made sense that they went in this direction. So this is like a really fun set, some nice looking inserts, nice looking product, and you get a chance of pulling like some really, really awesome cards. So here's a Jackie Robinson card. I'm not sure what this is from. This is card number 8. I think it's maybe just a base card. Doesn't say anything about it, but that's kind of cool. We got a little foil Jackie there. Yeah. So Mark Grace, and again, Upper Deck had some good photographs. Harold Bain, so some good players. And then here is not an insert. This is Strike Force. Again, just a subset. And Upper Deck was king at making subsets look like inserts. Highlights, and then I think this is, nope, just a subset. I think there is an actual insert right here. This die cut card, another subset. And then this is Power Package Movan. So this is what that other card was based off of. So, except this one's die cut, which is actually a lot cooler. So it's interesting. We're pulling almost like an insert a pack, which is very like a modern Upper Deck hockey. That's one of the cool things. Well, now it's like they went to like a jumbo pack, and you can get like 3 inserts a pack versus the old one insert per pack type thing. Here's another Jackie card, and I think it's the same exact. No, I think it's different. This is card number 9. So we had 8 before. Now we have 9. There we go. So it must be like a Jackie subset here. Jeff Bagwell. I don't know. I'm not sure what series the Griffey's actually in, the base Griffey. So we'll see that. Andy Pettit, Strike Force. And here is some sort of insert or trivia kind of redemption card, and it says Meet the Stars. So I'm not sure that's worth a whole lot. Here's another Rock Solid Foundation. We got Darren Erstad. Again, a lot of cards flipped backwards here. William Van Landingham. There's King Griffey Jr. Look at that. And I remember this card as actually, because I think there is a bigger version of this card that's out there. That's cool. We pulled a base Griffey card. Can I get some holders here, and then we'll put him up. I think, all the base Griffey cards are fun to pull. That's one of the things about collecting a player. When you player collect, you want all the cards. So getting a base card isn't a bad deal. We'll see if we get an insert. I'm sure he's in a few inserts in this product. I mean, he was their spokesperson, so they're going to probably put him in everything they can. Usually when I put top loaders together, I hit the camera when I try to put them, when I try to actually tap it in there. I end up hitting the old camera, and then it kind of goes to shaky cam. So yeah, so we got our first Griffey card, just a base. But this product has gotten expensive. Hobby's more expensive than retail. But again, when I looked at the actual odds, I couldn't find a big difference on from what I remember on Baseball Cardpedia of the between hobby and retail. I think you just get more packs in hobby than you do in retail. It makes sense. All right, here's a cool card. Coming up, Ticket to Stardom. These were Actually, I remember these and these are really cool etch foil. Look at that Jermaine die. That's a really cool card. So yeah, that's really awesome. I'll put the Griffey up, or the Jeter up too here in a second. Yeah. So, pulling all the inserts, and I think I pulled a game jersey card in 98 or 99 when they were still newish. And I believe it was Travis Lee. And I was in St. Louis at a show, a TriStar show, back in the day. And I believe it was St. Louis, TriStar. It's either St. Louis or it was Texas. But I remember taking it, and we went to go eat, because it was like a 2-day show. I went to go eat. We opened the box. I think we made it. I went to McDonald's. That was always our place to go at a card show, was to go to McDonald's. And we pulled it open, and I pulled that card, and we took it immediately back to the card show. And you would not believe the dealer interest in that card. All right, here is a very cool card. It's a Greg Maddux. It is amazing. Greats. It's got a wooden front with an acetate. Now that's a lot of cool stuff all at once. So that's a really cool concept for a card. So we'll definitely put that one up, because that is actually a really cool card. That Ticket to Stardom card is actually really nice in hand too. It's no, let's say, coincidence that Upper Deck knows how to design cards. I think we all would agree with that. Upper Deck can make a pretty card. I mean, the Griffey rookie card is iconic, and it's just, cool to see these designs. And the thing is, I remember a lot of these as a kid. 97 would have been around the time I went to college, so this could have been one of the last products I opened before I hit college. But there is the Maddux, and we'll look to see if I can find the odds here for some of these. I mean, there's so many inserts in here that it's they started getting kind of crazy. So they didn't always pit the odds of getting an insert here, because they were just so many. But here we go. Rock Solid Foundations, 1 in 7. Power Package, which we already pulled one. It's 1 in 23. The Ticket to Stardom is 1 in 34. Amazing Greats are 1 in 138. And then Game Jersey is 1 in 2,500. So that's the hardest one. And Meet the Stars instant winners are 1 in 56. So the Ticket to Stardom and the Amazing Greats, we've already pulled 2 cards that were higher odds than what we actually have packs for the box. So, but the Amazing Greats card is a 1 in 138 pull. So that's an actually pretty tough card to pull back in the day. So that's a really cool card. And that's, like I said, not worth a ton probably, but I think it looks amazing. It's actually a really nice looking card. Here is Jermaine Hollinsworth, Pirate, no good Nick. So many failed Pirate prospects back in the day. Wilson Alvarez in a green Sox uniform. Don't remember them wearing green, but it must have been maybe on St. Patrick's Day. Makes sense being in Chicago for them to do that. Yeah, I don't know what it would look like in a pack. Would it be like a pack? Would it be really fat pack if you got the game jersey card? Would it be missing cards? And so that's just kind of fun to see what we get. If we get an actual, we'll know for sure if we ever do it. Wade Boggs, Andrew Jones. So again, I remember these cards as a kid. Here's another Meet the Stars. I think those are 1 in 4 packs. These redemptions. Again, right towards the end, right before I went to college, and because I was putting together the 96 finest set when the 97 came out, and this product came out, and it was I couldn't really pay attention because I was focused on my first year in college, and So both me and my dad kind of like just kind of quit collecting as much during that time period. Just it was like it was hard. We did it together, and while I was gone in school, we would do it whenever we didn't have like when we were together. Here's a Griffey card, defensive gems. So yeah, like we would like in the summer or during Christmas, we would go to card stores or go to a show, and that was a lot of fun. But during the school year, neither one of us really did a lot of collecting. We would do it together, and yeah, it's like this product is a lot of cool memories, but it's also one of those ones where I didn't really get a chance to really super collect it like I did in 96. I had a lot more 96 product than 97. So yeah, every time I see something white, I'm always like, oh my god. But I think it's just another one of those what are they, there's a Barry Bonds defensive gem. So some cool cards, but yeah, it's a Meet the Stars like raffle giveaway thing. It's not worth a whole lot. So yeah, can we find the the actual game jersey cards? I don't know if anyone's ever. The thing I was always interested about opening packs on YouTube is for people who actually have hit really cool cards. I wish there was. I know Jeff was trying to sell NFTs of people getting hits. But I would just like to have like a like if there was a way to like categorize box breaks on YouTube or whatever, or you could go back and look at somebody pulling something awesome. Because I believe there's exquisite box breaks that you can go back and look on YouTube and see guys pulling the Jordans and stuff. So it'd just be fun to see someone pull a Griffey out of here. Like that would be pretty epic to have that on video. The closest thing I've done is I've pulled that 98 Bowman's Best Refractor Griffey number to 400 to end up grading a 10. So that was really cool. That actually did really happen. The player I super collect, in a style of cards I super collect, which is Griffey Refractors, I pulled not only a card I needed, but a tough one, and from a set that's really popular, and it graded a 10. So it's like the trifecta, a great card from a that I needed, and it graded really well. It's like that doesn't happen very often in the hobby anymore. It's just, yeah, it's tough. 90s packs, I do this not to make money or even, I say grows my collection a little bit, but I do it to kind of record. So if someone ever wanted to see a video of a product being opened, it's kind of for posterity's sakes. Like, if you wanted to see someone open a box of, 97 Upper Deck or 98 Bowman's Best or whatever, I'm posting those videos, and hopefully you can, people can say, oh, what's a typical box look like? And then I've had really non-typical boxes. I remember that Molten Metal box, the first one I opened, had like 6 of those cool dot matrix inserts. Molten Metal, they're called something else, but it's just like, yeah, I hit 6 of them, and that's just not normal. You're not supposed to hit 6 of those in a box. And so I stupidly bought another box, thinking this must be normal, and I hit the normal amount, which is I think 3. So yeah, so that's what happens. You kind of go like, oh, well, it's normal to hit this crazy amount of inserts, and then you realize, oh, it was a hot box. And that happens in the 90s, man. Like hot boxes. It's a cool Kirby Puckett. A Wade box. A lot of Hall of Famers. Series 1. Probably the Frank Thomases in Series 2. They I pretty again always did this kind of funky thing where they separated Bonds Griffey and Thomas into two different series. Never, I understand they did that so that you wouldn't just like quit collecting after Series 1 because you had both superstars. But yeah, like opening this product is again just for fun, and you're not going to majority of the time hit something that you're going to like make your box back. When I first started doing it, the box prices were a lot cheaper, so you could open some product from the 90s like in that $60 to $80 range and open up something fairly decent, something that had a chance of pulling something. Now, not so much. Now it's like, a lot of stuff has gone, triple digits, even for like base stuff like, 99 Bowman's Best, which you theoretically can pull a big card, but I mean, it's a product that for a lot of years was considered to be a very inferior product to the 98 set. And so no one really wanted the 99 product as much as maybe they do today, but it just shows you, like, I mean, over time, even sets that were kind of crappy, sets that no one really wanted at the time, have turned around a little bit. But I think a lot of it's just because there's a huge revival of 90s cards, and if there's any card worth anything, people are, curious and want to bust those packs. There are channels on Whatnot that are now busting 90s product as their kind of shtick. You can buy into the breaks and stuff, and so that's probably driving up the price of some cards too. If those products now have more competition on eBay. Look at that, there's Frank Thomas. Like, I figured that they separated him into Series 2, but they did not. So, like, they got Bonds, Griffey, and Thomas in Series 1. That's kind of weird. They usually don't do that. By 97, maybe they were like, base cards don't sell the product. So, or who cares who's in Series 1. The Series 1 seems loaded. I mean, Series 1, you got the cool, game jersey cards, and then you got both, you got Griffey, Thomas, and Bonds. And, so it's interesting. So they kind of like went all in on Series 1. Now, is this a point when, things started to go kind of sideways in the hobby, 97? I don't think you really see signs of the hobby struggling. I think 97, people knew like something was going to happen. But 98, just looking at Ozzie Smith, that's kind of cool. Maybe one of his like last games or like his retirement. But like you look at like 98 is when things started to fall apart. Sets were never released. Companies went bankrupt. So obviously companies know like well in advance when these things are starting to happen. So I think 97 was probably a year where a lot of the companies, these things were happening, and maybe that's why Game Jersey didn't come out in 90 Series 2 because it was so expensive. Or that's why you started seeing some things happening in 97. But 97 is like the last pure year where the hobby, I think, was like still like releasing crazy amounts of product and just going nuts. So last pack, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I did not expect to pull a Game Jersey card. I got one last chance here. I don't think I got it. But I do feel like we hit above our weight. Another Jackie card. So we got actually a pretty good box, honestly, because we hit a bunch of stuff that we may not should have. And here is an all-star game. Ivan. Jokes like that was maybe played in Seattle, because those jerseys look like something Seattle would have had. But yeah, this has been a fun box. I like it. It does show you too. Like, I think the thing I love about, let's say, the late 90s is they put more value into the product. So when you open a box of late 90s product, you typically got multiple cool inserts. And it was, one of those a lot of products were better designed. So like, it's just, like in 94, 95, you could still have product where you got nothing, or or it's one, you get one insert or one parallel. So there's Frank Thomas base card. There's a Barry Bonds, which is him. Oh, this has got to be, this is not a base card. This is just like an All-Star game card. So I say like I think that's Frank Thomas All-Star game card. So that's how they cheated. I'm sorry, I wasn't even looking. They used like subsets to get all these guys in multiple sets. So they kind of cheated. It's a subset. That's a cool card. I really like how that card looks. I like the die cut. This foil, etch foil look. It's a really nice looking card. Very shiny on the rock solid foundation. Again, we pulled a Jeter, like the first insert we pulled, and then the power packer or package or whatever. They're pretty cool. Etch foil and die cuts. And this does give you an insight into what Upper Deck was really good at, which is etch foil. In fact, the whole set, even the base cards, have etch foil. So it's like they, where Upper Deck or Topps went in all on the refractor, Upper Deck went all in on the etch foil, Donruss went all in on the Dufax. So here is a wood with the acetate. Really cool design. This is Amazing Greats. This is Greg Maddux. And that's a 1 in 130 type pull. There's a Griffey base card and another Griffey base card. So 2 Griffey base cards. So that's the product. We hit some cool cards. I think this card is pretty awesome. I wonder if there's a Griffey in that product as well, because that might be a fun card just to pick up for fun for my collection. But there it is, guys. No game jersey, but some cool cards, a lot of fun. And hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you next time in Cards and Comics. Bye.